Hey, what's up guys? It's David here, back with another video. Now in this video guys, we're going to be basically going over the Kyle Busch incident with Ryan Blaney that happened this past weekend on the second day of the doubleheader at the Pocono Raceway this past weekend. Now, of course, when you're watching the race, you can see that Ryan Blaney and Kyle Busch were having a very intense battle, and you could kind of see that they were probably getting frustrated with someone. Now, after the incident where you see on the, well, they didn't catch it until after the race, but you can see on the live camera, you can see Kyle Busch going around. So you're probably like, how did Kyle Busch get around? And you're probably like, something probably happened with Ryan Blaney. You see the right front damage on Ryan Blaney's car, and you probably know that Ryan Blaney did actually get into Kyle Busch. But then, after the race, during the race, Kyle Busch does like his interview after getting out of the midfield care center, and Kyle Busch is just not having it. Kyle Busch, when you know Kyle Busch is frustrated, you know Kyle Busch is frustrated. And the way Kyle Busch was speaking in that interview, Kyle Busch didn't even want to speak about the incident. Kyle Busch just wanted to get this out of the way and get this done. And in my honest opinion, I can't blame Kyle Busch. Because after looking at the video, by the way, if you guys haven't seen the video will be right here. Yeah, but after looking at that incident and seeing this, you're gonna want to be like, what was Ryan Blaney doing? And you can see that Ryan Blaney is on the inside, you know, like he's almost on the curb, basically going into that. I guess it's like the tri-oval. It's not even a tri-oval. It's the second corner. I would possibly say the second corner of Pocono. And you look at that incident, you see like, okay, yeah, he can't really be doing anything because he's as low as he is. But then you hear the radioactive, which came out today, and you hear that Ryan Blaney says, "I don't know what he could do there. I don't know why he came down when he was going so high, and then he came down." Well, as you guys can see in the camera view, there's another car that gets involved, and it's a lap car. Funny enough, it's Garrett Smithley. And Kyle Busch is trying to get past Garrett Smithley, and he's unable to do so. So Kyle Busch is expecting Garrett Smithley to stay towards the bottom, so he can go around the outside at least and get by Garrett Smithley, but Garrett Smithley stays in Kyle Busch's lane, and Garrett Smithley stays on the top side of the track, which means that Kyle Busch is going to have to go back inside, and by the time Ryan Blaney is thinking that Kyle Busch is going to stay on the outside, he dives down in there, because if you see that view, it'll be here again. If you see that, you can see that Ryan Blaney kind of sent it in there. Now, Ryan Blaney, I honestly do believe he did have enough time to back that off. He had enough time to back off, because he was probably, I say, about almost a car length behind Kyle Busch, and Kyle Busch had to Kyle Busch only slowed down a little bit so he could get to the inside of Garrett Smithley, because he thought Garrett Smithley was going to get out of the way and stay towards the bottom. Because if you watch the race, some guys have taken that corner into a very high line. Some guys have gone very high going into that corner. So when it comes to Ryan Blaney being on the radio saying, "I don't know why he was going in so high and then came back down below," If I was probably Ryan Blaney and I was looking at this, in my peripheral vision, out of the car, you can see Kyle Busch's car in front of him, but then you probably also be able to see Garrett Smithley. I would definitely say you'd be able to see Garrett Smithley, and you'd be able to see that he's coming up, and you're probably just like, okay, Kyle Busch is going to easily get past him. We continue our battle, and then you see Kyle Busch come down, and you're just standing there, just wondering like, why did Kyle Busch come down? And then you remember it was Garrett Smithley. So the reason this whole incident kind of happened, really, is due to Garrett Smithley. So if Garrett Smithley had stayed towards the bottom, we may not have this incident. Ryan Blaney would have probably been held up a little bit, but it seems like Ryan Blaney would have probably caught up back to Kyle Busch, and done what he would have done. But in this situation, Garrett Smithley stayed towards the top side, got in Kyle Busch's way. Kyle Busch had to slow down and try to get back down to the inside, and Ryan Blaney kind of just sent it in there. And if you look at the way Kyle Busch never, they were racing very, very aggressive, but Kyle Busch was racing Ryan Blaney clean. Kyle Busch I can honestly say, Kyle Busch rarely races that clean when he gets really, really frustrated like this. And of course, Ryan Blaney was getting frustrated with Kyle Busch. But in terms of this situation, I can't really put all the blame on Ryan Blaney. I can't put all the blame. I can't even put any blame on Kyle Busch, because Kyle Busch was nothing to do with that situation. I put two people on this: Garrett Smithley for not getting out of the way, and Ryan Blaney for not backing off. Because if you're in NASCAR, you have enough time to back off in that situation. You can see, I think if you look at the view, Ryan Blaney kind of jumps the curve and gets into Kyle Busch, which means he kind of did send it in there. And if you send it in there, there's no way you're gonna be able to back off. But if you see that another car is dealing with a lap car issue, and yes, Garrett Smithley honestly should have got out of the way, and Garrett Smithley should have probably went down to the bottom, considering Kyle Busch was on the top side, and if you literally block one of the lap leaders, and then the leader has to cut down, and the leader gets involved in the incident, I can't even blame Kyle Busch for being angry. Kyle Busch in that interview, like he was like short answer like this. He was like trying to get this interview done with, and I wouldn't be surprised if Kyle Busch may actually pay, like in some way pay back Ryan Blaney for this whole incident, because Kyle Busch was going for a good finish. Kyle Busch was honestly going for a good finish, and Ryan Blaney, Garrett Smithley, that whole incident, that just ruined Kyle Busch's day, and now Kyle Busch is going to have to go on to Indy this weekend and hopefully come back after all this mess. But if we honestly do see something happen between Kyle Busch and Ryan Blaney coming into this race or happening during this race, I honestly wouldn't be shocked. I wouldn't be shocked, because the way that happened and the way Kyle Busch interacted, like Kyle Busch was like really, really frustrated. And I would probably say when it comes to most races this season, Kyle Busch, besides the Chase Elliott incident, has drove pretty like, he's drove aggressive, but he's driven pretty clean, to be honest. And Kyle Busch is still battling out for a win. He's the defending Cup Series champion, and he's still battling out for a win. So for this to happen to him, and for the way that happened to him where he's trying to get past the lap car doesn't get out of the way, so he has to go down to the bottom, and then he gets cleared out, and then hits the inside wall and ends up getting out of the race. I can't blame Kyle Busch. But I want to know your guys' opinions down in the comments down below. Who do you think this incident is really on? Because I really don't want to see any Kyle Busch comments. Like, Kyle Busch was definitely not at fault here. It was between two people, Garrett Smithley or Ryan Blaney. Should Garrett Smithley have gotten out of the way, or should Ryan Blaney have backed off going to the corner and waited for another opportunity to get past Kyle Busch? But the incident happened. Kyle Busch ended up not finishing the race. Ryan Blaney ended up did. We'll see what happens at Indy this weekend. Some could possibly happen, but we'll have to see. But anyway, guys, I want to thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure you subscribe to the channel for more sports content like this, and I will see you guys all later with another video. Peace.